Welcome back, outdoor friends, to the Camping Life with Tim. I went on I guess you could call it a vacation, a road trip with some of my family back to the OZARK Mountains there in Branson, Missouri. We were there for 4 days, check out some of the activities, some of the sites that were, there around that place. I have 5 videos that will be coming out starting on March 27th, and you don't want to miss out on these videos, so be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, that way when they release you'll be notified and can watch them, and hey, share with others, let them know about us, and hopefully they'll come and enjoy our videos as well, because we have some pretty exciting things that we do while we go to either state parks or different areas, checking out a lot of different things that people can do in the outdoors with their families. So hopefully these will kind of give you some ideas on some places to go. Also, take a minute and hit that like button for me. It kind of lets me know that, hey, you do like the outdoor life, as well as that the videos that we are putting out you are enjoying. Also, we'd love it if you'd interact with us. Hit that comment button, have a conversation, tell us a little bit about some of your outdoor activities that you do, or maybe you want to talk about some of the outdoor activities that we are doing. That would be pretty awesome. This road trip that we went on took us about 7 hours or so to get there from Texas, and of course we made a few stops along the way, get something to eat, get fuel to make that trip. We didn't really rush to get there. We were excited to get there, but we wasn't gonna push ourselves to get there, so we kind of took our time, enjoyed the scenery as we were traveling. So anyways, when we got there, we got checked into the resort where we were staying, got everything unloaded, and headed off to the grocery store, pick up some supplies for the weekend, for the time we were going to be there. But we did notice, well, actually, we had a few spots we had in mind that we were going to go, but once we got up there, started seeing all the different signs and everything of different places to go, and different size, different activities, it kind of added more to our game plan. So we got back to the resort, kind of fixed dinner, got settled in, and kind of sat down and kind of, I guess, put together a game plan on where we wanted to go, what spots we wanted to try to hit while we were there. We got up early that next morning, which I really call it day one, and we kind of had a game plan. So the first stop we went to, it was almost like going to a state park in a way, even though it wasn't one. It was Dogwood Canyon Nature Trail. This place was awesome. It wasn't like hiking on the dirt and up over roots and going up and down hills. Even though we were in the hills, it was more level, but it was all paved. And going through this place, there was waterfalls. A lot of the structures that were built there were awesome. A lot of information in some of the structures we went into, to check out. They had, I guess you would call it like a big tree house for, where you could, go up in there in the different areas and check it out. A little, I guess, kind of like a rope bridge, that, wasn't solid going across. So when you walked on it, it kind of sprung up and down, going back over into another building, where they had, like the gift shop, in that area. They did have a restaurant there. We didn't eat there. Prices were pretty high, but just the smell of the food they had there, was kind of tempting. I know that. A little bit of Indian history they had there in the building. This was a pretty interesting place. But as our hike, it was probably, I believe that course going back up, and there was about 3.5 miles in, and of course you'd had to turn around and come back out. We didn't quite go all the way, but we went up to where the cave was, and of course it was blocked off where you couldn't go inside of it, I guess because of safety reasons. Maybe the roof was starting to collapse or fall or something, I'm not sure. But we went a little bit farther hoping we'd see another one, but we did come across like a waterfall that kind of went out over top of a little walk area that you could get up into the hillside, kind of recessed back into the mountain a little bit. So that was pretty cool as well. We thought about walking the whole thing, but after walking about 2 miles in, that was about all the walking I was up for that day. So we kind of, started heading back out. We got maybe halfway out, and of course some of the park people on their little SUVs going in and out, checking on people and everything. They give part of the family a ride back out to the entrance. I decided I was going to walk it, and of course Josh, he decided he would walk with me while the rest of them rode on in. We got maybe, I don't know, another 150 yards or so, and the park employee, he came back up there with the SUV and give us a ride back out, which I'm kind of glad he did, because having to walk the rest of that way back out, my leg would have been hurting pretty good. So that was nice of him to go and do that. Anyways, that pretty much ended up that site there. So that'll be one of the videos, so be sure to check it out, because that place was awesome and beautiful. When we left there, we went to our second stop, was in I believe Shepherd, which was called Fun Mountain. This place, they had like zip lines. They had some kind of a little fun park for the kids to walk through, different little sceneries there. And they also had a mountain coaster, which that was what I was kind of interested in. Some of them were more interested in the zip line, but when we got there, they had the zip line closed, so we decided all to go on the mountain coaster. That was pretty awesome, getting to zip down the mountain on a little cart that you ride in. It was either you could go by yourself or another passenger could ride with you. Pretty much I was by myself. Some of the grandchildren, they were by themselves, but then there was one that was didn't weigh enough, and he had to ride with someone. So unfortunately, I was wanting to take a video with my trail cam or my GoPro as I was on the ride, but they said we could not do that. So That was one thing that I don't have any footage on. I was able to kind of get a little footage up there at the entry, you know, where you could see the cart and see part of the track where it started to go down the hill. And, you know, you really could see down through the woods as to where the, you know, the track went, but you could tell it was going downhill. So, you know, that was about a, I would say almost a 2-minute ride going down. And of course, it seemed like it took another 10 minutes coming back out. So, but it was awesome as could be. You know, that place, you know, if you're ever up in Branson, these places that we've gone to, I would highly recommend that, hey, go check them out. They are pretty awesome. Anyways, that pretty much ended up that day. So, you know, we headed back to the lodge, and, you know, kind of fixed supper. We did bring a lunch with us, kind of sandwiches, so we could have lunch in between the two stops. So that was pretty good, except for one thing. They brought everything but forgot the bread. So we had to kind of just take some meat and cheese and roll it up and eat it that way with some chips. And of course we had stuff to drink. So, you know, we had to do what we had to do just to have something to eat. Either that or everybody's going to wait until we stopped somewhere and got some bread, which we did on our way to the second stop. We got some bread, and of course we all had another sandwich. So, but anyways, that ended that day. We went back to the hotel, kind of relaxed, you know, fixed supper a little bit later on that evening, did a little bit of walking around the resort there to see what all they had there. It was a pretty good sized resort, and they did have some trails that kind of went in between the different places. You know, they had a gift shop. They had, I guess, like a fun room. You know, where they had like go-karts and kind of an obstacle walking. I don't know what you want to call it, where you're up off the ground, walk across these planks and, you know, all around up there. And inside they had like arcade for the kids. They had a bowling alley in there. You know, also they had, you know, a few other things that were in there. We just kind of checked it out. We didn't spend no time there, but we did decide we will come back there at another time if we had time. But anyways, that pretty much, you know, was what we did for that first day. After dinner, we kind of sat down and tried to put a game plan together on where we wanted to go the second day. Now on day 2, we had a couple places we had in mind of going, but unfortunately we were only able to do ones because some bad weather rolled in where temperature totally changed. It got real cold. They had tornado watch out, and it started raining. So some of these other places, the outdoor activities, they kind of closed, so we weren't able to do that. But we did get to go bright and early when we got up to one that we really had wanted to go to, which was Top of the Rock, the Lost Cave Nature Trail. And yeah, I enjoyed that very much also. It's where you get to ride on a golf cart. It's probably maybe, I don't know, 2-3 mile trail, but they have different scenery set up. You know, a lot of caves, a lot of waterfalls, and they even had one place where you actually got to drive into a cave, and there was a waterfall in there. And what kind of blew my mind was they even had a bar in there. You know, where you drove through, they give you a ticket so you could get a free drink. Although I can say I didn't care too much for the drink, but you know, it was awesome getting to ride, you know, through a cave, seeing the waterfall in there. So that was pretty cool. Um, and of course, they had a lot of places where you could pull off and get out and take pictures. And believe me, we took a lot of pictures on this trip. I know that for sure, and you will see a lot of that in some of the videos that you know, I have coming out. Also, that, you know, when we got to the end, it took us probably about, I don't know, an hour and a half to go through the course, you know, with all the stops we made and all the pictures we took. But you know, that was awesome as could be. They also had a museum there, so we thought, well, while we're there, we're going to go ahead and check it out as well. The museum, it was kind of like most museums you go to. It was more on a lot of the Indian heritage. You know, they had a little bit of the wildlife heritage there, information. Some on, I guess, the military back in the earlier days, you know, the cavalry, stuff like that, during the Indian Wars, you know. I know it was before the Civil War, so, you know, all that kind of information there. It was pretty cool, but, you know, I've seen a lot of that in other museums that I've been to. So, you know, once we got done with that, you know, like I say, the weather changed on us, so we had to come up with a different game plan. You know, we planned on going to a cavern to go inside. It was about an hour walk or an hour tour, you know, going to a cavern. But with the weather, we were going to have to drive just about an hour to get to this place. And we decided, you know, with them calling for tornadoes and, you know, real severe weather, we just didn't want to make that drive to be out there in that weather. So we just went back to the lodge and kind of see what else we could do. Hey, you know, we decided we were going to go to that fun house and check it out because that was indoors. So that's kind of what we did. We went up there, and kids, you know, they got to play video games, and the grown-ups, we decided we were going to go bowling. And of course they had a bar there. Well, you know where I went. Needless to say, my bowling game wasn't worth a hoot. I guess I could blame it on the drinks. Sure, why not? But we did have fun. And, you know, that's the whole point of going on vacation, going to these places, to have fun, you know, enjoy life, you know. It's not like being home working, you know, 5 days a week or all week long, you know, having to put up with a lot of, you know, stress and frustration over bills and everything else that comes up in your life. Going out and enjoying life, going to places, going to state parks, you know, hiking, trails, camping out, going to different locations where they have all these different types of activity that you get to do. That's what it's all about, taking the family out and enjoying, having fun. And yeah, we did. So, you know, I can say that even though we spent a lot of money on this trip, it was well worth it. And yeah, I would do it again. So anyways, we, you know, spent, I don't know, 2-3 hours there having fun in the fun house. I believe that's what you call it. You know, it's a fun house to me. My oldest grandson, he wanted to ride the golf carts, but Of course, that was closed down because of the weather. Anyways, after that, we still had, quite a bit of time, trying to figure out what else we could do in this weather. And we decided, well, let's go and get a movie or two for the kids, and take them back to the lodge, and they can watch movies, and we're gonna go out and have dinner, because we did have that planned on one night, going out somewhere to a nice place and eat. So what better time to do it is when it's raining. And we kind of looked at a few different spots where we thought about going to eat. Well, they had a restaurant there in the lodge area that we decided, now let's go check this one out. So we went to it, and it was a very nice place, kind of cozy atmosphere. The decor of it, just made you feel like you was kind of out in the wilderness, in a log type cabin kind of atmosphere. With the type of lighting they had in there, they had like little, looked like those old lanterns, little kerosene lanterns you used to carry back in the old days, or what miners would carry when they went into the mines. It kind of had that type of atmosphere. They had a bar there, and down on, I guess you call it the basement, underneath the restaurant, they had like, I wouldn't call it a club, but they did have live entertainment down there. There was a musician down there. He was, just him playing guitar, and yeah, I mean, you could hear the music while we were up there eating, so that was pretty cool. And the food, it was excellent. When they brought it to us, I looked at it, I thought, whoa, that's a lot of food. Didn't quite make it through all the way through mine, but what I did make it through, it was delicious. So, yeah, that was enjoyable. Left out of that place, of course, the wind was blowing, and it was cold. The temperature dropped down, probably down in the, into the 20s, probably going down to about 22 degrees. And we had to walk from the restaurant to our vehicle, which was kind of across the bridge. And, of course, the bridge you could drive through was kind of parallel to it, but back in behind it, there was a waterfall there that we didn't even know was there when we came in. I tried to get a video of it, but with all the lighting, the camera just didn't pull it out. It just looked like bright lights back in behind it. But my daughter, she did take a picture of it through her phone, and it showed up. So, that will be in my video as well. So, headed back to the hotel. Of course, two of the kids, they were asleep, and one of the other ones, he was busy on his phone playing games or whatever he was doing, I don't know. But that was a very enjoyable day, even though the weather kind of threw a loop at us. But hey, we got one more day to go, so let's check it out. Day 3, our final day. Got up early, had breakfast, kind of packed everything up because we had to check out. We wanted to get all that done and then go hit our last spot, which we were kind of saving it for last. Anyways, we had to drive, I guess, about an hour to get to this place, which to me, it was basically my highlight of the whole trip. It was something I wasn't quite expecting to, for it to be as big as it was and nice as it was, but it was awesome. We went to Springfield, Missouri. Like I say, it was about an hour drive, from the lodge, and it's a place that's actually the first Bass Pro Shop that was ever built. Yeah, on this place, I mean, it was huge, but it was even huger because they also had an aquarium there as well as a museum. So, you can pretty much say if you're going to go to this place, you better plan on the whole day, because as big as it is, yeah, you're going to spend some time there going through it. And I mean, I've been to a lot of different aquariums and museums. Oh, this one beats it by far because it was huge. The way they had it laid out, I mean, it was just amazing, unbelievable, and beautiful. I enjoyed it very much. Out of all the places we went to, I mean, I enjoyed the other places too, but this place, I think, was the best spot, out of the whole trip. You're going to enjoy those videos when they come out, with all the aquatic animals, the way they had it designed, the big tanks, even the museum. I'm not going to tell you too much about it. You're just going to have to watch those videos, because I do believe you will enjoy them. But we spent, I don't know, probably maybe 5 hours there, and I'm not really sure that we saw everything. We didn't get to spend a lot of time in the Bass Pro Shop because it was so huge. I know we did walk through a little bit of it from one end to the other, and all the side rooms and displays and everything they had there. Yeah, that would probably have been about another 2-3 hours just looking through it to see what all they had there. But we did enjoy, that day at this location. Anyways, I guess this trip is over with, and only one thing left to do. Yeah, you guessed it, the long drive back home. So anyways, like I say, coming out March 27th will be the start of the videos, and there's 5 videos on this road trip to Branson, Missouri. So hit that subscribe button, notification bell. That way you won't miss out on, because I really do believe you will enjoy the things we got to see, and we're able to video to show you all. So watch out for them, and we'll see you on the next adventure.